At first glance, the new Wonder Boom 2 doesn't look all that different from the original Wonder Boom. But if you look a little closer, you'll see that Ultimate Ears has refined and improved their compact and ultra portable Bluetooth speaker in all the right places. And besides some very minor nitpicks, I actually really do like the new Wonder Boom 2. So much in fact that I'm actually going to be giving away this little guy right here. Just be subscribed to the channel, hit that like button, and comment down below with what your plans are for Summer 19 are. Just like the original Wonder Boom, the Wonder Boom 2 retails for $100, which means the original Wonder Boom is going to be going on sale now. But as I'll explain over the course of this video, if you're thinking about getting a Wonder Boom, I highly recommend you get yourself the newer Wonder Boom 2 because it truly is an overall better product. But if you want to pick any of the speakers up mentioned in this video, they'll be linked down below. Just like before, the Wonder Boom 2 is vying to be that ultra portable and ultra durable speaker you take with you everywhere and use with your friends, cause it can stand up to almost everything thanks to its mostly fabric body, hard plastic end caps, and IP67 rating, meaning that water means basically nothing to the speaker. And just like before, you've got your volume buttons up front, but this time around, the multi-purpose button on the Wonder Boom 2 has been explicitly laid out, which is a very small detail I personally really like. And you also notice that the bungee on the Wonder Boom 2 is much more elastic and durable, which makes it easier to latch onto things than the original Wonder Boom. But unique to the Wonder Boom 2 is this new outdoor boost button, which I'll go into deeper in a little bit. But continuing down the list of improvements on the Wonder Boom 2, this speaker now has an advertised battery life of 13 hours, 3 hours more than the original Wonder Boom. And in my testing with the volume set at 80%, I got a real-world battery life of 9 hours of playback time. Not bad at all, especially considering its size. But one of my nitpicks about this speaker is that it's still using a micro USB port for charging. Personally, I would have really liked to have seen a USB-C port here, because this way an Android user would be able to charge their phone and speaker with the same cable. And while we're talking about ports, I also do want to point out that this speaker doesn't have an audio jack. Personally, I don't mind it, but just know you can only use the speaker wirelessly. But when it comes to wireless connectivity on the Wonder Boom 2, the speaker has a very stable connection that doesn't cut out just as you'd expect. It has a 100-foot wireless range, which is way more than what you actually need. And the speaker can be connected to 2 devices at the same time, so you and a friend can both be DJ. So overall, wireless connectivity on the speaker is very good. But I can only recommend the Wonder Boom 2 strictly for listening to music. Since the speaker is only using the SBC codec, there is a slight latency whenever you try to watch videos on either an Android or Apple device. It's a very slight latency and most people will be able to ignore it. But if you're as particular as me, you will notice it. But when it comes to speaker setups, the Wonder Boom 2 has a dual transducer and dual passive radiator setup, half of which shoots out the front and the other half shoots out the back, meaning that this speaker is a 360-degree speaker, which makes this speaker great to use with friends because you can just put it down and cover a large area with music without having to crank the volume up super loud if you don't want to. But definitely one of the biggest reasons why I prefer the Wonder Boom 2 over the original Wonder Boom is because it genuinely sounds better. This speaker has way more bass than before, so as a result, it just sounds much fuller. And if you use the speaker indoors, it genuinely sounds much bigger than it has any right to be. But if you're going to use the speaker outdoors, then you can use the outdoor boost mode. Now, what outdoor boost mode does is that it significantly reduces the bass on the speaker, but in return, it boosts the mids and highs. Now, yeah, it's going to make the speaker sound very bright, but it's also going to make the speaker get louder, and overall, your music is going to travel much farther outdoors, cause science. But just so that you can see for yourself, we're going to jump into a sound test. All of these speakers are playing at the same volume, but the Blue Wonder Boom is playing in outdoors mode.
Breathe you in like oxygen, calling in otherwise suffocating world. I'm reaching out for arms I'm drowning in the open-ended love we're making, girl. yes, you once really cared. I'm reaching for a hand to pull me up. One open to an everlasting love. Exhale, the past. Inhale, future that lasts. Change my mind, change my mind. For the last time, I believe in the life I read. I don't wanna leave another word unsaid. You know my heart will follow you tomorrow. It's tomorrow.
So, like you may have just heard, the Wonderboom 2 and original Wonderboom have the same sound signature, and in general they do sound pretty much the same in the sound test. But the Wonderboom 2 has significantly more bass than the previous model, and it also gets slightly louder. You can literally feel your music more with the Wonderboom 2, especially when you use it indoors. And if you're going to use the speaker outdoors, you can quickly switch to outdoors mode and make the speaker get louder and make your music travel further. But if you want to get technical, the bass doesn't bottom out, the highs don't get tinny, instrument separation is decent, and distortion isn't a problem at higher volumes. But another improvement found on the Wonderboom 2 is its double up feature. Just like before, you can get two Wonderboom 2s and pair them to play in sync. But now, if you have two Wonderboom 2s, you can also have them play in left and right stereo mode. Pairing these two speakers is super easy, and switching between sync and stereo mode is just a matter of pressing and holding down the multi-purpose button. And thankfully, the newer Wonderboom 2 can still pair up to the original Wonderboom. But keep in mind, they can only be paired up to play in sync. Stereo mode is exclusive to dual Wonderboom 2s. But this leads me to another nitpick about the Wonderboom 2. Unfortunately, this speaker can't be paired up to UE's other speakers like the Mega Blast, Mega Boom 3, or Boom 3, and the Wonderboom 2 still can't connect to UE's Boom app, so you can't directly change the speaker's EQ besides pressing the outdoors mode button. But overall, I still really do like and recommend the new Wonderboom 2. Even though the speaker is tiny compared to a lot of other speakers in this category, the sound quality and amount of bass coming out of this little guy is truly impressive. Its real-world battery life of 9 hours is gonna have no problem keeping up with you. Its 360-degree sound makes it a great choice if you're looking for a speaker to use with friends on a regular basis, and just its sheer small size and ruggedness makes this little guy a great speaker to always take on the go with you. But since I really do like the Wonderboom 2, it's already got me thinking about what I would like to see from the Wonderboom 3. And right now that would have to be USB-C charging, support for higher definition audio codecs, being able to connect to UE's Boom app, and being able to pair with UE's larger Boom and Mega Boom speakers. But still, if you're looking for a small speaker for the summer, you can't go wrong with the Wonderboom 2. If you made it this far, I guess you enjoyed the video, so hit that like button and get subscribed. It helps out more than you realize. If you want to pick another products up mentioned in this video, those will be linked in the description down below, and you can also support the channel by checking out the merch store. But other than that, I'll catch you next time.